Arsenal, well done. Arsenal went to Stamford Bridge last night, Trevor. Yeah. They followed up 3 dismal defeats, and they were dismal defeats, and it was a stunning performance last night. They won by 4-2. But here's the thing. This is Arsenal, and they won, but this is an inconsistent Arsenal. Does the inconsistency here make Arteta one of the hardest managers to judge?
I think it does, because you look at the amount of time that he's been in management, 2 years. He's a very young manager, and you look at the most consistent managers, you're looking at Pep, you're looking at Klopp. They've been in this game for decades. So I think on that side of things, you would have to say he is inconsistent. But then also you look at his team, and especially the forward players. A lot of the players in the forward areas, they've got quite a young defence as well. Throughout the team, they've got quite a young team. So you're always going to get that indifference in performances. You're always going to get that inconsistencies in performances. And I think they match each other. The club, with it, the playing staff are quite young, especially the first team staff. And the manager is quite young. So I think you put the two together, you are going to get inconsistencies in performances, and that would also echo in results.
Yeah, and an important moment for a player last night who you love, I know, Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, I was pleased.
Wasn't it? When he exercising the Euros penalty miss.
I mean, we've seen it done before, Stuart Pearce and Gareth and Bex, playing for England and missing penalties and getting sent off and having disappointments, and then having that courage to step up again. I think it takes a lot. It shows real character from Bukayo Saka. I was really pleased that he executed it really well, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. It was a good performance from him, and I was actually watching his performance, obviously playing on the wing. I was thinking, why does no one ever get too close to him? And he's a very clever, he runs at you, and he'll run at you the first time with his right foot, touching the ball with his right foot. The next time he runs at you, he'll run at with his left foot. And that's a rare talent. And I was speaking to a few of the boys from the crew behind about it earlier, and they were like, "But why? But why why does no one seem to be able to dispossess him?" And I told him this fact, and it is quite a rare talent that a player will run at you with either foot,
of course,
and he's got that in abundance.
I'm sure.
He was excellent on the night, and probably one of the biggest reasons why Arsenal did get the win.
Yeah, so well done to Arsenal, no doubt about that, and Bukayo Saka. So while he's a rising star and doing well, then Simon, we have Romelu Lukaku. So he made his first start for Chelsea in 2 months, hauled off after an hour. When the new owners go in, Simon, does Lukaku's name promptly get put in the out tray?
Well, that depends on Thomas Tuchel's view, doesn't it? I mean, he's been bought for 100 million quid. I think he signed a 4-year deal, didn't he? So he's now worth 75 million quid on their balance sheet. The question will be, is anyone going to pay that for him? Possibly, because Romelu Lukaku has been successful at certain times in his career, specifically and explicitly at Inter Milan. And if they've got some more money again, they'd probably sign him back, potentially. I think it's a whole raft of conversations to be had. The Arteta question, if he finishes 4th in the league, then forget about his inconsistency. Look at the fact he finished 4th in the league. I don't think anyone would have picked Arsenal at certain stages during the early part of this season that Arsenal would get into the top 4.
Yeah,
they lost 3 games in a bounce. They were very unfortunate to lose against Southampton. It was just an inspired goalkeeping performance. They were dreadful against Palace, a little bit better against Brighton.
Yeah, but they lost 3 in the bounce.
They did, but they're 4th in the league.
I know, but here's the thing. Should fourth place be lauded as much as it is in modern day football?
Well, of course it shouldn't do.
Why should it be a cause for celebration?
But of course it shouldn't. It was a cause for celebration because of the economic benefits of being in 4th place.
But you've obviously faltered along the way. Well, we've got Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester United. They're all trying to get over the line to be 4th.
Depends what you feel is faltering. Stan Kroenke was very happy to have them 4th in the league for many, many years, and Arsene Wenger survived on that particular currency. Because that's what he delivered to Arsenal. It was a very meaningful currency, which is finishing 4th in the league behind economic powerhouses like Manchester City and Manchester United at times that have spent lots and lots of money. Arsenal are no slouches in the spending department, but they're not up there with these guys. They're not up there with the Chelseas and Manchester United and Man City.
But if Manchester United nick 4th spot, Simon, that would be lauded as,
I keep trying to make a case for Manchester United to nick 4th spot because I'm desperately trying to be proved right. And that is going to be my downfall because they're dreadful, and if they finish 4th spot, it tells you how poor everyone vying for 4th spot really must be because they're rubbish. Manchester United, they're a completely disenfranchised team. But Arsenal and Arteta, he's got a 53% win rate. He's got to improve that to start making himself a real bona fide manager. But he's 27 months into a job. he's been given this job. He's had his challenges. If they finish inside the top 6, I think they'll have done okay. I think it gives him another, what I believe is another trip on the merry-go-round for another year.
Yeah.
If after next year we don't see marked improvement, he made some brave decisions, whether you like them or you don't, and some people don't. I think the decision to take Aubameyang out was a brave decision. Lots of managers wouldn't have taken it. They'd have gone, I'll tell you what, I want the short-time security of knowing what he can do for the long-term pain of what he's going to undermine me with inside the dressing room when everyone thinks they can do what he does.
Yeah.
Because he's the captain and he behaves the way he does. So I think Arteta's score report is all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right. Okay. So after, 3 dismal defeats, but certainly defeats, but you couldn't fault that last night. That was some win at Old Trafford. Okay, that's fine. Trevor, let's turn our attention to Chelsea. There was a spell when Thomas Tuchel spoke, I would sit up because I thought this guy's impressive.
Yeah.
And Simon, I think, would echo that. We were knocked out by him.
Yep.
And then last night, post-match, you hear him talking about the game. They've lost 4-2 to Arsenal at home. And he had his own reasons as to what went wrong.
To say that the pitch is difficult to play here, it's maybe sounds like an excuse, but it is a very, very difficult pitch that we have here. It's not to our favor, and the ball bounces very, very awkwardly in front of Andreas when he wants to play this ball. So, but still, I mean, we had the same mistake against Real Madrid that cost us Champions League the next round.
The pitch. What? Trevor, I mean...
No, listen, I think when you look at the
Didn't
details...
stop Arsenal playing.
No, of course not. But when you look at the details of a team and the quality and the profile of their players, if you've got Cobham, which is... I mean, I don't know if you've been there, Simon, but unbelievable facilities, untrue pitches, every one of them, all grass.
Hang on, you're making a case for
I'm
Tuchel
just
here in
talking
the
to you
pitch.
about fundamentals of football.
Right,
now, if
okay.
you've got
What about Cobham?
Well, the pitches are superb.
Right,
So if you...
all right.
First and foremost, I'd say sort your pitch out. If you've got a team full of players that want to play on carpets, have a carpet at Stamford Bridge. But
What was up with the pitch last night?
I've no idea. I mean, I watched the game. It didn't seem like there was too much wrong with the pitch.
What do
So
you
maybe
think?
that's just
The pitch last night
excuses. Maybe that's
looked
just
all right.
excuses. But I think sometimes a pitch can look good.
The
from
pitch
far.
came over well in the telly.
It can look good, but when you get on it, it might not be right. So I'm not going to comment too much about that. But what I will comment about.
No, but do you deride what he said?
I understand what he's saying because I had the problem myself, but I'm not playing in the Premier League. I'm talking about...
Did you ever come out with, I would have played better had it not been for that pitch?
At times, yes. I mean, if you get a bobbly pitch that is not playing well and you're a passing team and you're a technical team, it's going to favour the more physical team.
So you're telling us a training ground pitch at Cobham is better when they played it in the stadium?
Yeah, because they've got about 40. They've got one pitch at Stamford Bridge and it's obviously not growing well.
And that contributed to the 4-2 loss last
It's
night?
an excuse. I think it is an excuse, but going back to the details that I think are important is you look at the starting 11, if they've got everyone fit, they can compete, the European champions. I think when you look at the squad and the depth of squad and the quality in that depth of squad or lack of it, I think that's where they fell short. You look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester City, you look at other teams where they've had more consistency. And not just that, I mean, I'm going to pick out 2 players. Loftus-Cheek, I thought he played superbly well against Real Madrid. He played on the right as a wing-back, out of position, and I was like, brilliant. Hopefully this is the start of his real Chelsea career to get going. Now he's going to go back into his proper position, centre midfield, alongside Kante. This is your big opportunity. He fluffed his lines. And then Lukaku, I don't know what we can say about Lukaku, because since he come out with that interview, I haven't seen an appearance from him. He's down tools. His body language last night was awful. He's not making runs. He's walking about. If that was my centre forward, I'd want him out the door, because that is not showing any kind of commitment to Chelsea, to the fans, who you should be trying to do everything to run through brick walls to get back on side with, and free the football club itself.
So what did you make of Azpilicueta, Cesar Azpilicueta, at the end of the game, having something of an altercation with some of the fans?
Well, I thought, listen, we've seen it before with different players. I think with Azpilicueta, you think of Cesar Azpilicueta, fantastic servant for the football club over the last 10 years. Captain of the football club, won everything with Chelsea. So you have to give him a little bit of leeway because of that. So you would tend to think that something very untoward has been said to him from the fans, which I don't agree with. I don't think just because you go and support a football club, if they get beat, you've got the right to give hurls of abuse, and that abuse, we don't know what context it was. So I'm thinking that the fact that he's reacted, he seemed to be 100% solid, professional guy who, if someone says, oh, you're rubbish, he's not going to react. So it was obviously something more than that. So I'll probably side with Cesar Azpilicueta and say he was probably right in confronting the fans.
He was right. Do you think there's a place for that, Simon?
I think
that he bites back at the end of a game
I think
that.
I think it's human nature, and you can't eliminate the fact that players are human beings, and they will be offended and triggered by circumstances, and one of them will be a defeat that obviously they didn't particularly want in the first place. The fans are the most important thing. We miss them. We want them back. Well, they're back now, and back they come with their opinions. Oh, the fans are not so important. We don't like what they have to say. Make your mind up. Look, the bottom line is it doesn't give people an excuse. Sometimes I do think there's an envelope being pushed by fans at this moment in time. I do think the sense of entitlement that fans have to say what they want when they want is probably pushing it a little bit much. But we built them up. They salvaged the game from the European Super League. They were the reasons why football was missed so much in real times because the fans weren't there.
Yeah, but that fan watched an error-strewn performance from Chelsea.
Yeah, and you've got to. I mean, in my wanders
over stranger. So he's going to let rip.
I'm walking around as a footballer, right, pinching myself on a daily basis that I can't quite believe, right, the money I'm getting, right. But I'll take all the praise and all the opportunity for the industry, and some total random stranger calls me something I don't like, and I'm going to lose my stack. Grow up, develop something called resilience. Right? If you sit in there, as I did for years and years, tipping millions of pounds into a football club, getting called every single conceivable name that I could possibly envisage, and you have to get on with it, don't you?
Yes.
You just have to get on with it. Don't rise to it.
Yeah.
You do.
Don't rise to
just
it.
looking at his personality, his character, I think something really bad must have been said.
Oh, sure. I mean, how bad is it? Someone calls you a name.
I know.
A total stranger
Get
calls
on
you
with
a
it.
name.
Yeah,
There is an
He's
element of
human
resilience.
as well. He's human.
You were
He is
calling me
human.
everything in that should ride back into
They
London
were
last
accurate and fair, and there was a big queue of people joining me to say the same things.
Actually, when you talked this morning, his hair's got a bit of bounce about it, which I like. Actually moves about in the top of his head.
It's a syrup.
It's a syrup. That's an exclusive. Simon Jordan wears a syrup. 11:15.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.